And ladies and gentlemen, if you are not already following Khasino on Twitch TV, what are you doing with your life, mate? He's got some proper right Strike Force content.
Embrace the spaghetti.
What's up, guys? With the Groot Blitz kicking off today, I wanted to make this video and share my thoughts on everyone's favorite Flora Colossus. Also, I want to give a big shout out to the Kraken OXTS86V for letting me use his footage of a maxed out 7-star Groot. OXTS86V is the #1 ranked player in the world, and he has his own YouTube channel as well, so I'll put a link to that in the video description below. Alright, let's get into it. The big thing I've been getting asked is some form of, how good is Groot on a Guardian team? Or how good is Groot with Rocket? The short answer, better, but still not worth. I'll be going into more detail on this towards the end of the video. But first things first, let's look at his stats at max gear, star, and level, which is gear tier 11, 7-star, and level 60. His max HP is 68,800, which is pretty high, paired with his armor, which is 4,955, which is exceptionally high. This makes Groot a very durable champion. His base damage is 5,975, which is definitely on the high end. He does pack a punch. His focus and resistance are just the standard 1150. Where Groot starts to fall apart is his speed, which is only 70. He's currently the 4th slowest character in the entire game, only ahead of Ronin, Hulk, and Drax. Now let's talk about his tags. He's considered Hero, Cosmic, Bio, Support, and Guardian. The big two here are Cosmic and Guardian. Because the Cosmic campaign has a much smaller pool of characters, this definitely helps out Groot. This is further helped by his other tag, Guardian of the Galaxy, because his fellow Guardians, Gamora, Drax, and Rocket, are already among the best characters for the Cosmic campaign, and they get synergy. On to his skill set. His passive ability is I Am Groot. On death, 15% chance to revive with 10% of this character's max health and apply defense up on all allies. On death, death-proof Rocket, if ally. Firstly, because this is worded unclearly, let me clarify. The defense up to all allies happens no matter what. It doesn't depend on whether Groot revives or not. That said, this passive is still really terrible. The revive chance is very low, so it will rarely be a factor, but the main reason that this passive is terrible is not because applying defense up to your entire team is bad, but because it only happens when Groot dies. Well, as previously mentioned, Groot has very high health and very high armor. Since he doesn't have a taunt, he's normally going to be one of the last, if not the last person on the entire team to die. Groot dying early enough for this passive to matter is going to be a very uncommon occurrence. There is a way for him to gain taunt, but it requires Rocket, so we're going to talk about that towards the end of the video. His basic ability is Crushing Blow. Attack primary target for 300% damage. This basic attack is alright. It's not bad. The damage is pretty good, actually. The reason it's just alright is because there's nothing more to it. No chance to proc a buff, no chance to apply a debuff, no chance to chain, nothing. Just a firm smack. Because Groot doesn't get to take that many turns during a match, one firm smack with no effects behind it is just okay. His special ability is Overgrowth. Gain Death Proof and apply Death Proof to all lowest health allies. Firstly, this is worded a little silly. It's just apply Death Proof to all allies. That said, this is definitely Groot's best ability, but even so, it's just kinda good. Giving your entire team Death Proof is nice, it can end up buying you some extra turns. There's just one problem. It can also end up doing almost nothing for you. If you're not in danger of dying, this ability is a waste of space. But let's assume that you're doing challenging content, which should be most of the time. Plenty of abilities either dispel, do splash damage, or damage your entire team. This can consume multiple death proofs in a single turn. But even if your team reaps the full benefit of this ability, you've still used one of Groot's few turns to deal 0 damage, which means the rest of the team has to pick up that slack. And this brings us to his ultimate, Life Spores. Heal all lowest health allies for 1500 health plus 5% of this character's max health. 30% chance to clear negative effects from all allies. Oh boy. This ability is really terrible. This ability is what sinks his entire kit. The percent HP portion is just awful. Even with a maxed out 7-star Groot, it would still heal for less than 5,000 total. This is Groot's ultimate, and it's the worst heal in the entire game. To give some perspective, a maxed hand sorceress would heal for just below 12,000. Then you have the issue of the very low chance to cleanse your team. The easiest way to handicap a character's kit is to include an effect that's super unreliable, which is exactly what they've done here. And again, you have to be mindful that it does 0 damage. Now, of course, it's a heal, so yeah, those usually deal 0 damage. However, anytime you skip a turn's worth of damage, you have to make sure you're getting good value in return. Night Nurse gives a big heal and regeneration stacks. Hand Sorceress gives a heal and defense ups. Doctor Strange gives a heal and a strong revive. Groot gives a weak heal and disappointment. So that's his kit, but we still have to talk about his synergy with Rocket. For the rankings by game mode, I evaluate each character independently. To Groot's credit, however, he does benefit quite a bit when paired with Rocket. Enough to justify always using them together? No, probably not. Rocket is an awesome character, and you're better off just pairing Rocket with another awesome character. On the other hand though, if you really want to use Groot, he's definitely much better with Rocket by his side. First, you have Rocket's special, Pretty Good Plan. Attack primary target for 310% damage, 50% chance to gain an assist from a random ally. If Groot is your ally, also gain an assist from Groot, and apply taunt to Groot for 1 turn. So this ability is actually made incredible with Groot. It already does awesome damage because Rocket is a monster, but the guaranteed assist from Groot just makes it all the more devastating. And, as previously mentioned, one of the few things Groot is good for is his ability to smack someone in the mouth. Then you get the added benefit of applying taunt to Groot for 1 turn. This is also terrific because, again, Groot has great health and armor, so he'll almost always be a great option for absorbing some damage. There are a couple drawbacks though. Number 1, taunt clears when Groot takes a turn. You have to be mindful, because if you put taunt on Groot and then he takes a turn immediately after, you've completely wasted it. And number 2, it's not optional. So if Groot is low on health, you have to avoid using this ability, or choose to sentence Groot to death. Then you have Rocket's ultimate, Maximum Damage. Attack all enemies for 270% damage, and gain 2 counter. If Groot is an ally, attack all enemies for 320% damage instead. Now this ability is already one of the strongest AoE nukes in the game. Adding Groot makes it do 50% more damage, which is really good. This synergy with Rocket does help fill some of the holes in Groot's kit, namely his lack of damage. However, at the end of the day, Groot boils down to an extra assist, a varying duration taunt, some extra AoE, death proof for the team, and a piss poor heal. Now, that's not bad, it won't hold the team back, but in my opinion, it's not enough to justify giving Groot a spot on the team over many of the other options. There are a lot of characters that can bring so much more to the table. Now I just want to briefly discuss why he was placed where he was for the various game modes. For Campaign and Raid, he's ranked mediocre. He does get the green highlight, which means that he jumps up to usable with proper synergy or team comp. For the most part, this just means pairing him with Rocket will jump him up to useful. Without Rocket, he's a slow tank who can't taunt, so all he contributes is 1 stack of death proof and a crappy heal. Maybe a basic attack or 2 that contribute nothing beyond damage. I will say though, that I consider him demigod specifically for escort missions. Those are the missions where you have to protect an operator for 4 turns. I can't call him a god because he's not a top 5 pick for that, but death proof is alright for stalling, and especially valuable against hordes of incredibly strong enemies. He's also low demigod specifically in Cosmic with Rocket, but this is mostly because there are almost no team-wide protectors for the Cosmic campaign, and because the current difficulty of the final chapter is a bit overkill, which allows death proof to really shine. For Arena Offense and Blitz, he's ranked mediocre. Again, he gets the green highlight, and again, it's mainly just for when he's paired with Rocket. Without Rocket, it's the same story. He's a slow tank who can't taunt, who only contributes 1 stack of death proof and a crappy heal, maybe a basic attack or 2. And finally, Arena Defense and AI, it's just more of the same. He's mediocre, for all the same reasons. He'll do a whopping 0 damage until his 3rd turn, and by the time this slowpoke gets to his 3rd turn, the match has probably already been decided. His weak heal and a stack of death proof probably didn't swing the battle for his team. And finally, I wanted to answer this question, which I've been getting a lot. when we get Star-Lord, how good is the full Guardian team? While this is a good question for another video, I'd like to give a short answer. They're alright. They're not great. Everyone on the Guardian team is either pretty good or great, except for Groot. However, the team as a whole has some major holes, which definitely prevent it from what I consider to be a sure-to-win team. Hole number 1, no speed up or slow. There's a reason everyone uses Quake and Black Widow. Speed is king. When you have two of the slowest characters, Drax and Groot, and no way to speed them up or slow your opponents down, you fall behind pretty quickly against anyone that does have speed manipulation. Hole number 2, no Dispels. If the enemy has a taunting tank, the only option on the Guardian team is to try to kill the tank, because nobody can do a goddamn thing about the taunt. This is a major handicap for content like Blitz and Arena. If you really want to make the Guardian team work, the fact of the matter is the first person you should cut is Groot. Just replacing him with someone like Yondu is a big boost for that team. But alright, that wraps up the Groot character spotlight. Good luck to those of you that are trying for him in Blitz. Also, I stream Marvel Strike Force every single day at 1 PM Pacific at twitch.tv/Khasino. Come check it out. And finally, thanks again to the Kraken OXTS86V for letting me use this footage. Don't forget to check the video description for a link to his YouTube channel for gameplay you won't find anywhere else. Otherwise, thank you guys again for all the support. Peace!